Hi, I'm Elise. I'm going to teach you how to play Selfish by Madison Beer on the piano. Now this is going to be as simple as possible. This is how I learned it. I'll try to leave a link in the description of the tutorials that I learned from. I usually watch about 2 or 3 and take different things from each one. We're going to have one section on the piano that we're focusing on. You're not going to have chords up here and then down here and all that good stuff. And then also the chords that we're going to use, a lot of them do repeat themselves. So you only have 4 chords for the intro and verses, and then 4 chords for the chorus as well. Some repeat, so that makes it even better. If you do end up recording a cover using this tutorial, go ahead and tag me in it. I would love to see it. And then I also recorded a cover as well, and I'll leave the link down in the description so you guys can watch it. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so like I said, this is going to be as simple as possible. This is exactly how I learned it, and I will also include what I took away from the tutorials and then what I added myself. You can pick and choose what you want to keep and what you want to change depending on what you're comfortable with. I'm going to start with the left hand just because that took me longer to learn because I'm not left-handed. Now, any of my finger placements or anything, these are just personal preference on how it's easiest for me to play them, so feel free to change that up as well. But when I play this first chord, I have my ring finger on C sharp, my pointer finger on E, and my thumb on A. So when you put those all together, it should sound like this. Now where you go from there, you're going to keep whatever finger you have on C sharp, you're going to stay there. You're going to put your index finger on F and your thumb on G sharp. And when you put those together, it sounds like this. Now, next, you're going to have whatever finger you want on D, F sharp, and then A. So when you put those together, it sounds like this. And then the next transition is very simple. You're going to keep your finger on D, keep your finger on A, but instead of F sharp, you're going to move your finger down to just F. So it's going to be... So now if you play those all together, it should sound like this. Now again, that's without anything on the right side, so if you need to go ahead and if I didn't do that slow enough, you can rewind. This next part is going to be what you're going to do with your right hand. So I'm going to do that separately from anything over here and then put them together. So your first note on your right hand is going to be A, and then B, and then C sharp. And you're just going to put those together and repeat it twice. And that's going to go with your first chord. Now with your second chord, you're going to start with G sharp. And you're going to play the key right next to it. And then jump over to the next white key as well. So those chords are going to be G sharp, A, B. So if we're putting those two together, now from here, you're going to go over to F sharp, then you're going to jump over to G sharp, which is your next black key, and then go to A. So if we're playing those 3 together, then I just go back down to A. And what I do is repeat that 4 times. You can even go back to the A, B, C and repeat that again. And then when you start your next chord over, then you would still just continue A, B, C and then start that over that way. Now, the only problem that I had memorizing this part was when I get up to G sharp and F sharp, which keys to play after that. So I kind of had to get it in my brain that after G sharp, you're playing 2 white keys after that, one right next to this one. When you get to F sharp, you're jumping to the black key and then the white key. So that's just something that you might catch on super quick. For some reason, I could not. So it took me about an hour to get that part down separately, and then I put them together. But let's go ahead and put those together with the left and the right hand now, and I'll do it slow. Now I'm going to sing with it to kind of let you know what it's supposed to sound like. Boy, you're such a lost cause. Now your name is crossed off. How you gonna fix this? You can't even fix yourself. It was almost 2 years that I chose to spend here, all alone on New Year's, thinking, what the hell? This is where it goes into, I guess, what you would call the pre-chorus. It's the exact same chords. The only thing that I changed up was the right hand. So you're still gonna do the exact same thing with the left hand that you were doing, except instead of doing 3 notes repeating, you're going to take whatever the first part is of all those notes, and you're going to play that just separately. So what I mean by that is if your first chord on your left hand is C sharp, E, A, you're only going to be playing A with that. So how that's going to sound is 6 times on whatever you're playing over here. Then you go to your next chord, which is C sharp, F, G sharp, and the first chord that you played, or the first note that you played on your right hand was G sharp when you were playing that. So then you were gonna do, and so on. Then F sharp, then go back down to A. Now, before I go into the chorus, I do add B right there. It kind of just sounds better when it's all put together. If you don't want to add the B, you don't have to. So pretty much what the pre-chorus will sound like is, I don't want to break your thread and needle trying to stitch you, but I can't. I refuse. And that's when you go into the chorus. Now, if you do have any questions about that section, just go ahead and comment them down below with a timestamp. If I didn't go slow enough, or you do have any questions about where any of my fingers were, just let me know and I can help you out further. But now I'm going to move into the chorus. Now, what's good about the chorus is it's already 3 chords that you already learned. We're just adding 1 more, so that makes it easier as well. Now, we ended off right here. So where you go from the chorus, you're going to keep your finger on D, keep your finger on A, and go back up to F sharp for the first chord of the chorus. Now this next chord is the one that's new that we're adding in. So your pinky is going to be on B. Your ring finger on E. And then your thumb probably on G sharp. And when I say probably, I just say that because that's the only way that I can like comfortably play this chord, is with my fingers in those 3 places. And then also I did have a hard time with not hitting like the other keys that are in here. So pretty much what I have to do when I play this is kind of start here at the bottom and then move my fingers upwards to hit that G sharp. Again, that's just like a personal preference on how I found it easier to play. So that is your next chord. Now from there, you're going to another chord that you already know. So you're going to go back to C sharp, E, A, which was the first chord in the intro. And then you're going to go back to the second chord in the intro. So keep your finger on C sharp, go to F with your index finger, and then add G sharp to that. So together it should sound like this. And that is the chorus. So pretty much I'm going to do that just separately without anything on the right hand. Now, I completely changed the right hand from anything that I learned in any tutorial. I made it easier than anything that I saw. The only two notes that you're going to play on the right hand during the chorus are going to be A and G sharp. So pretty much with every chord that you're playing with your left hand, you're going to add either A or G sharp to it on the right hand. And it's just repetitive. So if your first chord is this, you're going to add A to it. Then for B, E, G sharp, you're going to add G sharp. And then for C sharp, E, A, back to A. And then for the last one, C sharp, F, G sharp, go back to G sharp. So with that all together, and I do repeat these, I think 3 times each. So with those put together, it'll sound like this. And if you're singing with it, it would sound like this. I shouldn't love you, but I couldn't help it. Had a feeling that you never felt it. I always knew that you were too damn selfish. Don't know why I looked the other way. I wanted you to change. Yeah, shouldn't love you, but I couldn't help it. I always knew that you were too damn selfish. Now, after that, I always add in the intro part again, just to kind of break up the verses. Again, you don't have to do that. You could jump right back into the second verse if you wanted to, but I do leave kind of like a little gap right there. That way I can get myself together. It does sound good to me, so that's what I do. But if we're going to put the pre-chorus and the chorus together, it kind of needs to have a good flow with adding that B in there, if that makes sense. So pretty much what I'm going to do is just do the pre-chorus and the chorus together. That way you can kind of see how they mesh. And like I said, if you have any questions on that, just let me know below as well. I don't want to break your thread and needle trying to stitch you, but I can't. I refuse. I shouldn't love you, but I couldn't help it. Had a feeling that you never felt it. I always knew that you were too damn selfish. Don't know why I looked the other way. And again, I don't even know what was going on the right hand during that chorus and everything. I completely just shut that out and made my own thing with my right hand. It's completely up to you what you want to do. Like I said, I'll link the tutorials that I use down below. So if you wanted to go watch those and learn what they do, you might think that it sounds better. But for me, this was the easiest to learn and what I caught on to. So I did post a cover of this today on YouTube. I'll go ahead and link that description, or I'll put the link in the description so you can go watch it and see how it all goes together. But it's literally very repetitive, just those same chords over and over again with a couple things that I added in there. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I would love to answer them. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope that this helped.